Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to the channel. Now, yesterday, I got this comment saying that I should try to make a Monospinner, the simplest controllable flying machine in existence. I'm like, well, okay, if it's that simple, it shouldn't be that hard to make it then. So I looked up what a Monospinner was and found this. The Monospinner, a controllable flying vehicle with a single moving part. It's like, okay, looking better and better. The more I look into it, just a single moving part should be even easier. Let's see what this thing looks like.
The Monospinner is a flying machine that has only a single moving part. The motor
Good so
to
far.
which the propeller is attached.
All right, just a
It
propeller.
requires no hinges, no ailerons, no flaps or servos. This makes it the mechanically simplest controllable flying machine in existence.
Okay, well, if it's so simple, then how does it work? Okay, here we go.
Unconventional equilibrium is found by analyzing the Monospinner's dynamics.
Wait, no, wait. Let me just look real quick here. Just confirming, proof checking their math real quick. Yeah, my experience as a YouTuber tells me that this looks about right. I'll keep this in mind as I build.
For a certain constant angular speed and propeller force, the torques are cancelled out by the cross-coupling terms in the attitude dynamics.
The torques are cancelled out by the cross-coupling.
Torques are cancelled out by the cross-coupling terms in the attitude dynamics. The torques are cancelled out by the cross-coupling terms in the attitude dynamics.
The torques are cancelled out by the cross-coupling terms in the attitude dynamics. I know what most of those words mean by themselves. Haven't heard them put together like that before.
Without active control, it will crash.
Wait, what active control? What control? What? I thought it was simple here.
A uses a sum of thrusts to accelerate, but it is still controllable by using a more sophisticated algorithm.
What algorithm?
The mechanical design is carefully chosen such that the system is robust to manufacturing imperfection, aerodynamic uncertainty, and system noise.
I understand it has only one moving part, but how? How does it know where to move?
But it is still controllable by using a more sophisticated algorithm.
They don't. So I've looked into this. There's only 2 videos I've found that actually show this thing, and all they say is that it's super simple. It has one moving part, the propeller, and then some sophisticated circuitry, algorithm brain things that make it controllable. But nobody's explaining anything about how this thing can control which direction it goes. So the simplest flying machine ever is turning out to be a complete mystery to me, but hey, that's not going to stop me from trying to build something like it. So my goal for this is just to achieve this. I want to achieve a flight. I want it to hover in the air or fly in the air and just be able to do this. I have no idea how they're making it go in certain directions with just a single propeller. It must have to do with micro-adjusting propeller speeds depending on which side its rotation is, and that might be able to make it drift towards certain sides or the other. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that, but let's see if we can build this basic shape and make it fly. We're going to hop back into the game here, and we're going to try to create the simplest flying machine in existence. Yeah, well, we'll see how simple this thing really is. If it's so simple, I should be able to build it right here, right now, right? All right, one moving part. Here it is, helicopter engine. Now let's attach propellers to this helicopter engine. So this is our source of thrust. This is our source of mechanical motion. We're almost done. Now we just gotta build the weight distribution thing. The other thing that concerns me is apparently in order to get this thing to fly in real life, you need to kind of toss it in a weird particular way. Otherwise, it's not just gonna take off from standstill off of the ground. You need to kind of give it that initial rotation, I think. So taking off is probably going to be a bit of an issue. All right, so as it extends from the propeller, it seems to have a very subtle angle going off to the side. It's honestly even more subtle than this. I'm a little bit concerned that this is too much, but hey, when you're designing a aerodynamically and physically precise object, does it really matter if you get a couple degrees on your weight distribution? ScrapMan sarcastically says, knowing that this is doomed for failure. All right, so then there is a much steeper angle that is coming off of this side right here. All right, so we got like a weight that we can have right here. We also kind of need something like this over on this side. All right, I've taken some creative liberties to accommodate the way that the build grid works in this game. So this, I kind of feel like we have the gist. I don't think the gist is gonna cut it for this creation. Oh man, I really feel like I'm getting the feeling that this is a project that has been doomed from the start, but it's all about the journey, okay? It's about the journey, not the destination. So it seems like there's some weights on these things. I have no idea what the weight distribution is supposed to be like between this part and these parts and anything like that. But let's go ahead and slap a seat down right on here. So we got a decent amount of weight there. And you know what? Let's slap 2 seats down. I don't know what the difference in weight is supposed to be. I have no context of measurements or anything like that. But yeah, let's put these seats on here. Let's actually power this thing up to max power. There we go, speed 10. And let's see what happens. Okay. That was not what I was expecting to happen. That's not even what happens in real life. So that's kind of what happens in real life when you try to take off from the ground. There's actually a clip in the video. Yeah, I'll leave a link to that video so you can see more of the detail that I didn't include here. But yeah, they show it trying to take off the ground, and it does that because it needs to be thrown into the air. But I'm honestly surprised, like, we're able to do this. So if this thing can get horizontal. Whoa, yo, did you see that? We kind of, we turned in a way that this is almost kind of working. I don't know. I don't know what to do about, like, there's no way I'm going to be able to control any of this stuff as far as going in a direction that I want to go, but I want to be able to do this in a way that I can take off vertically. So let's give this thing a stand. I can't believe this is already kind of working. I feel like we've taken the simplest flying machine and we've simplified it even further, and we're somehow getting something that kind of works a little bit. Okay, so here's the system I've come up with. So the launching mechanism, there are some pistons that are going into detachable blocks, and those detachable blocks will detach immediately after the pistons extend, causing that to happen. So then the idea is that if I hold down shift, I should turn, and this is not going nearly as fast as I was expecting it to. Maybe I can help by also spinning this. There we go. Okay, and ready? Here we go. We're going for the launch, and launch. Whoa. Okay, I mean, we're straighter, but whoa, changing directions was weird. Oh, interesting. That is really interesting. This thing rotates a lot more horizontal than the actual Monospinner. The actual Monospinner is much more angled because of these weights. So I'm thinking about adding just an extra, let's just go all out. Let's just go to some extremes to see the difference. We're gonna put 50 kilograms on both of these. Let's see what kind of difference that makes. Oops. Oh, that was an interesting takeoff, wasn't it? Okay, now I am too heavy to maintain lift. So 50 kilograms was too much. All right, so let's dial this back to 30 kilograms. See, the big thing that we're missing here is this highly sophisticated algorithm that they don't seem to want to share with me. How did that happen? Probably because of our lack of algorithm. All right, here we go. Come on. I don't know. I'm looking at it, pretending like I'm figuring something out, but honestly, I'm just kind of, my mind is blanking on what I could possibly do to improve this thing. Simplest flying vehicle in existence, huh? Well, if you're so simple, why is this starting to feel complicated? How could this thing possibly control itself in the air with just this single rotor? It's literally according to the demonstration, it's the only moving part is just the rotor. So that implies that there's no flaps or articulation of the blades like a helicopter would do to get pitch and roll. So how then is this sophisticated algorithm controlling the simplest flying machine in existence to get it to be able to fly in specific directions? I'm messing around with the throttle right now. I'm changing up the throttle, like when I'm pushing the throttle, and I do see that it can angle me. You know what? This might be an interesting thing to try. I'm gonna add my own sophisticated algorithm to this thing. And for the first time ever, I'm going to try to use the compass sensor. So this compass can sense north at all times. So as you can see, as I rotate, those arrows are always facing towards the north. And then the red line, you can see, moves with the creation. So whenever that red line gets into the range of that arrow, it'll trigger an output. So now maybe I can have this thing move in relation to cardinal directions. So I'll have it trigger the helicopter engine whenever it hits north. And then this one will trigger whenever it hits south. Yep, so that triggers on north. That triggers on south. That triggers on north. That triggers on south. Okay, so now I need to add some logic to this thing. So if I press A and the compass triggers for south, it is going to trigger this, which is going to trigger this to power only in the south direction. And then if I press D and this triggers to the north, it is going to trigger this, which is going to trigger this only from the north direction. All right, so let's do a quick test here. So now I am pressing D. So now you can see it turns on when it's facing south, right? Oh no, it turns on when it's facing north, when the compass is facing north. So it's gonna apply a force whenever it's facing north, and then it's going to release the force whenever it's not facing north. And then if I do A, now it's gonna do it at the opposite part of the cycle. So is that going to affect our ability to change direction? I have no idea. So I'm just gonna apply the normal control first just to get up in the air. There we go, we're flying. Okay, so now let's go A. All right, see, now the problem is, like, it's not strong enough to keep the momentum as it triggers that. So, man, I don't know. I have no idea. What I could do is actually expand. I could expand this to cover the entire half of the cardinal direction rather than just a quarter of it. All right, so yeah, now look at that. That seems to be a considerable increase in force. You can see it speeds up on one part of the rotation every single time. It's right now it's on the part that is towards us, it'll speed up. And now if I press the other button, it should speed up on the opposite side of us, which you can see. All right, so let's see what happens. I'm just gonna give us our general across the board speed as we get up into the air. And now pressing A. All right, and then pressing D. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Are we reversing direction right now? Are we reversing direction right now? Oh, and I'm pressing A. Go back the other way. Come on, go back. There was a change. We changed what we were doing in the air, which is promising, but it still isn't strong enough. All right, let's try this again. We're up in the air. Now let's try to go to the north. Look at this, look at this, look at this. It's working. It's working. Okay, now I have normal thrust now. I'm going in this direction. So now if I do the opposite direction, I should start going over here. Right? I'm going in the opposite direction now. Now can I turn back? I cannot believe this. Now, if I add 2 more of these compasses... Here, let's go back again. Oh, come on, a little bit more. Oh, that one was, we're not exactly in that same direction. Oh, can I recover from this? I have a steep angle now. Come on, I'm trying to go back in that direction. I think. I don't know if I pressed the right button. Okay, I did not expect to ever get this far with this thing. I mean, I just wanted to be able to spin around and fly in place, but now I just went back and forth in the direction I wanted to go controllably. Like, what? Okay, let's try to take this a little bit further then. All right, so I've done a lot of tweaking and I lessened the weight because this propeller needs to be able to lift this thing more since it's not going to be spinning as often when I'm trying to turn. So let's see what happens now. I theoretically should be able to go either north, south, east, or west. Each of these compasses are activated in a different direction. So I know that that is north, and I have W for north, S for south, A for west, and D for east. So let's see what happens now. All right, starting up, and all right, we're up in the air. We seem to be hovering pretty well. Okay, now let's press W for north. Okay, I'm angled too much now, though. And let's press D for east. Uh-oh. Oh, we're going upside down. It's not going the way that I thought it was going to go. Ooh, this is interesting. But I'm thinking I'm starting to find a little bit of the nuance about how this thing works. I think it's only really suitable to change 90 degrees if you first come back to a 0 point. So we're kind of at a 0 point now a little bit. So I'm going to try to go in that direction by pressing D. And there we go. See, now we're going in that direction. Okay, so now, instead of going left or right from this perspective, I first have to go backwards. Or not. It's not working. It's not. Why isn't it working? Okay, it seems like there's actually something working here, but there's also something not working here at the same time. And I don't know what to do with it, but I have these mixed feelings about being so close to success and at the same time having no idea how to fix the current issues. All right, so I'm doing a really weird experiment where I've added 2 extra blades. I wanted to add 4 extra blades, but as you can see, the way that these blades hook up, they don't allow any more room to add a second set right here, unless, actually, oh no, this could work. Okay, yeah, never mind, I just found a solution to that. So I'm just hoping that giving myself this much more lift is just gonna allow for better control, better correction as we're flying through the air. All right, here we go. Let's see what happens with this. Oh, whoa. Oh, this is actually more similar. This is functioning right now way more similar to how the original design functions. All right, let's go north. Whoa, it is so extreme. What? This doesn't make any sense. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's way too much. You know what? I think the six propeller design worked way better. It's not the most symmetrical looking blade, but it is like rotationally symmetrical, so it doesn't like add any weird artifacts when it comes to like the center of mass is still the same. All right, here we go. All right, so we're flying straight. So let's go ahead and head to the right. There we go. So now we're going more to the right, right? Now let's go ahead and we're going to even out a little bit. Perfect. Now let's head back towards our camera. I'm just going to stay facing north. We're heading back towards the camera. No problem. Now let's head away from the camera. All right, we're doing it. All right, let's level back off. All right, this is good. Now let's head to the left. All right, there we go. Now we're going left. Now let's just reverse it. Go right back to the right. It's working. We're going to the right, level off again. All right, now let's head back towards the camera again. Perfect. Okay, so now I'm kind of curious. I haven't tried pressing 2 buttons at the same time, so going at a diagonal. Let's go forward and to the right. See what happens. It works. And now let's reverse it, go backwards to the left. Let's try, uh-oh. I don't know, wait, where's north? North is that way. Now we're just going backwards. Here, let me equalize out again, level off here. All right, there we go. Now we're kind of level again. So now we're gonna go left. There we go, and then a little bit backwards. All right, so now we're kind of going back to the left, and if I try to reverse that so we're facing forwards to the right again, this is what it's doing. So leveling off. And now we're going mostly forwards. I'll do just right now. There we go. Now we're going forwards to the right. All right, can I recover from this, though? because the steeper the angle I get, the harder it is to equalize back out. All right, it's working. Guys, I think I actually did it. I mean, we're kind of going up the whole time, but I had all of the control that I needed. I'm really kind of surprised that I was able to figure out how to get this thing to go in what direction I wanted it to go. All right, I have to give myself one challenge here. My goal is to fly up to the helipad and land on the helipad. The only concern I'm having is the landing part. If I just don't do anything, I'm worried that I can't stay up straight. Yeah, it doesn't float down aerodynamically. So having a nice landing on the helipad might be out of the question, but getting there and coming down onto the helipad will prove the concept of I have control over where I'm going. Okay, so I think I've solved all my problems by adding these high resistance aerodynamic tail fins to the other parts, because the problem with falling out of the air is these propellers had all of the air resistance. There was no air resistance on the weights, on the other weights essentially. So there's still no extra moving parts, but this allows me, so check it out. If I'm going up and then I lose my thrust, now you can see when I fall, I actually kind of fall much more stable and can then recover from it rather than like flipping over. I'm more likely to fall at a level angle. So this should allow me to control myself. So let's try this quest finally. I'm not even going to reset. I'm just going to try to control myself from here. And let's see what happens. I didn't really test out a lot of the other functionality yet. So I need to get up to that helipad and then land on it. So as you can see, I have angled myself towards the helipad now. Maybe a little bit too much. I'm going to go back just a little bit so we get more verticality here. All right, I might be on a trajectory to collide with it at this rate. I'm not too sure. Oh no, I'm going a little bit to the left now. Don't worry, I'm just gonna gain altitude for a little bit right now. All right, gonna have to adjust here, getting more level so we can go more straight. Now I'm gonna start going a little bit more to the right. There we go. This is working. I gotta keep remembering where north is though, because I'm not turning relative to my camera, I'm turning relative to the cardinal directions here. All right, now I'm gonna have to start falling. This is the awkward part because I start losing the angle when I start to like drift down. Okay, hold on. I need to go more right again. A little bit more north now. This is looking pretty good. There we go, there we go. Come on. And, oh, I didn't really get into the helipad, but I'm on the helipad. Does it count? I mean, I went all the way from down there. If I really didn't have control over this thing, I could have gone anywhere. So I think this is proof of concept that I've built a controllable monospinner. This started off with a much more humble goal of just being able to fly and spin like the original design, and I ended up figuring out how to put full directional controllability into this thing. So I think this went pretty well. What do you guys think? Keep these suggestions coming for any of these weird concepts, weird mechanical things, vehicles, toys, whatever, because these things have been really, really fun to try to replicate in these games. If you guys enjoyed this, you'll probably enjoy some similar stuff I've been doing recently. You can check that out right here on the end screen. Hope this video has earned your subscription. Anyway, this has been ScrapMan, and I'll see you next time. Bye.